This is an open letter to MARLITA GREVE. It is the principle of law and ethics in court that everyone is supposed to have their day in court, and everybody has the right to represent themselves. And I need to represent myself because my own attorney wants to suppress exculpatory evidence. My own attorney wants to do that because the county of Clinton wants to suppress that exculpatory evidence. There are many examples of this in my record. Almost 2 years ago, Judge Nancy Tabor issued a court order and a ruling that I am supposed to get everything. I'm supposed to get all of my court records, everything the court has, and that's everything that concerns me, everything that has my name on it. Not only court cases, not only about charges filed against me, but about people who have issued false reports against me. Everything that happened from the time when I became involved in relocating to a racist hamlet. And you know, if you're a Jew, you should never move into a community which is small enough to be called a hamlet, because it's just not kosher. I'm supposed to get everything from the court, and I'm supposed to get everything from the Clinton County Police, and that means everything. That means records of phone calls. That means the recordings of the phone calls. That means everything. When Judge Tabor said everything, it meant everything. And you know, during this hearing, it wasn't me versus the court. It was me versus Jack Wolfe. That's spelled W-O-L-F-E. Now, the person who wants Jack Wolfe to suppress that evidence is Michael Wolfe. He spells his name W-O-L-F. Michael Wolfe destroyed 4 post-conviction relief applications. The prosecutor doesn't have the right to do that. The prosecutor has to answer those. The last post-conviction relief application was hand-delivered to his offices by attorney Harold DeLange, who has already testified or mentioned, I don't know if you want to consider what the conversation they had testimony, since it supports my case, but he did tell Nancy Tabor that he hand-delivered my post-conviction relief to Mr. Wolfe's offices. How it can disappear? Why did it disappear? Because my post-conviction relief effort is legitimate. And it can only be successfully prosecuted by the respondent, if that's what I am. I'm really a defendant in all of this. It can only be prosecuted successfully in my favor if that suppressed evidence is no longer suppressed. And that's why Judge Nancy Tabor said everything. I'm supposed to get everything. And you know what? Everything includes 350 pages of documents, which the state claims it took off my website, which shows that I'm guilty of all of these things. But actually, those 350 pages exonerate me. So I want that hard copy from the damn courthouse. And I want it from the pigs. Because Nancy Tabor said everything applies to this case. And I want Mr. Jack Wolfe, W-O-L-F-E, to fuck off and not have anything to do with me any longer, because I found out that the first time, he did this the first time you appointed him to me, over 6 years ago. And he didn't want to use exculpatory evidence, so I complained to the ethics committee, and the court had to give me another attorney. That guy was worse, because the purpose is to convict me, and we're not supposed to have fair play. We want this guy off the street. He talks about people, and he talks about the people that we're getting graft from, and we don't like that. And another thing, Marlita, I've watched the court on more than one occasion consign a person to live in a crack house against her will. And you can read my website and find out about that. Apparently, in the state of Iowa, you can do anything that you want to a black or a Jew. And that's the kind of court system that MARLITA GREVE sits at the apex of. I appreciate your time and attention. Anybody who wants more information on this is free to go into my website. There's no charge. The address of that website is www.freeworldkgb.freeservers.com. It's all there. It's all true. Thank you for your time and your attention, my viewing audience. I don't think MARLITA will pay much attention to this. But the fact of the matter is, I have a right to defend myself. I have a right to speak in court. I have a right to enter exculpatory evidence. But after I won that felony trial, in which in 5 minutes I was acquitted, after Judge Van Zee was fair enough to realize that my attorney was working against me when he didn't want to cross-examine me after I was called by the state to testify. He had no questions for me. So, Judge Van Zee looks at me, and I look at Judge Van Zee, and Judge Van Zee starts to let me tell the jury what happened without being questioned. And immediately Michael Wolff pipes up and says, but he can't explain this in narrative, and Judge Van Zee made an exception to the rule. So I explained to the jury exactly what was going on. And in the amount of time that it took me to explain and to play what was on the evidence that I brought in, which was a transcript of the conversation, and the conversation playing on my computer that proved I never made a threat, I was acquitted in 5 minutes. I proved that Wanda Elias had made a false report, and I proved that the chief of narcotics investigation in Clinton County was suborning perjury and committing perjury himself. But in Clinton County, if you're a white person, you can go into court and commit perjury. But if you're a Jew, who in Clinton County is not considered a white person, and if you're a black person, you're fucked in Clinton County. In any case, thanks for your time. Happy trails.